everyone, Tracy here with Paper Closet Designs. Welcome to my channel. I am so excited today to share a new type of card with you. So these are Octagon shadow box cards. They lay flat and then they pop open and you can display them on your table, in a tiered tray, mantle, shelf. But they also fold flat so that you can mail them. And I do have an envelope that these fit in. I'll just show you. It slides right in there. The envelope has the raised edges. It just fits all nice and neat, so you can either mail these or hand deliver them. I have 3 cards today that I want to share with you, including the beehive. And then I've got a few more that are in the works. I'm going to try and get them out this weekend, but if not, in the next few days anyway. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to show you the file, what's included in it, and how to assemble them. They're pretty easy. They all have a few parts, as you'll notice as we go along. So we're going to start first with our bicycle. This is a perfect one for the summer day. And the supplies that you'll need are some glue. I like to keep mine in a thin needle-nosed bottle, a quilling bottle. And I use the Scotch tacky glue. And then you'll also want a tape runner or some tape. You can use the glue as well and not have this, but I like to use this for my bigger pieces. So with our bicycle card, I'm going to just kind of pick this up and show you the pieces. They're not glued on, so they're probably going to fall apart. You'll have 5 layers for each card, and they're all going to be just a little bit different. So this solid octagon is your back piece. And then we're going to start with piece number 3. And on this one, piece number 3 has the 2 clouds. And you'll know what piece they are because they have a little number over on the right-hand side. So this one is our clouds. Piece 2 on this one has the sun. So it's piece 2 and the sun and the inside of the sun. Piece 1 on this one is the grass. And then the front piece has the bicycle. So let's start with piece 3. And we'll just build up. So on this one, all you're going to do is the first thing you want to do is you have 2 score lines, and we are going to fold those up towards us, or a valley fold. And you want to get a good crease on there. You could use a bone folder if you had it. I always forget to grab mine when I'm doing the videos. And then we just have the 2 clouds, and we're going to glue them right on to that back piece, and they have the placement already cut out for them. Oops. Okay. I'll put a little bit more glue right behind that cloud. I moved them. Don't you love watching me mess up? Okay, there's our piece 1, or piece 3, excuse me. Next, we're going to do piece 2, which on this one is the sun. So again, I'm going to take these 2 score lines and I'm going to fold them up towards me. Let's glue our sun on there. And the center of our sun. You could ink this up. You don't really need pop dots with these cards because there's already so much dimension, but you could put that centerpiece with the pop dot if you wanted to. Okay, piece 1, this one's pretty simple. It's just the grass. So again, I'm going to score these lines up. And don't look at how gross my fingernails are. We have spent so much time outside in the sun and in the garden that my nails may never heal. That's all right. Okay, we're just going to glue this on here. just like that. And those 3 pieces are done. Okay, the front piece has the most little pieces, and it's not hard, but there are some small pieces because I wanted this to have lots of detail. So I'm going to slide this up. So first off, we have the basket for our bike. We have a little tiny leaf, and we have a little flower and the little center of the flower, and I will hold those pieces up. So they cut with your machine without a problem, but they are kind of tiny. I'm going to set those down. Then on our bicycle, we have the seat and the handle. The handle is just a little bit smaller than the seat. We have 2 tires. We have 2 fenders or hubcaps, I'm not sure. Fenders, I guess, for your bicycle. And then we have the bicycle. And then the front piece has 4 score lines, and we are going to score all of those down, or away from us, or a mountain fold. And while I'm doing this, I would use at least 65 weight paper for the card pieces anyway. The embellishments could be a little bit lighter. But for your card base, 65, 80, one of those 100 is going to be a nice firm card so that it pops up and folds just right. Okay, so let's take our bicycle and we are going to glue it on to the cutout piece, the placement piece. And you do not need to get every one of those little spokes and tire rims, just enough that it's going to hold right in place. I'm going to flip it over and lay it down. Okay, there we go. Next, I'm going to add my tires, and these are not perfectly round, so you're going to want to kind of play around with them to make sure that they are on there correctly. And I did not. Okay. So there's that piece. There's this piece. Okay, just like that. Then we want the fenders. And I see something wrong with this file. I will fix it before I send it out. I'm not going to point it out in case you don't see it, but there is something a little bit wrong and it will be fixed. Okay, so now I'm going to glue my little basket to the back. And the seat and the handlebars. I'm going to do this handlebar first. And then the seat. And then for our flower, there's not a placement line behind there. So we're just going to add or glue it to the basket. So I'm going to glue the leaves on first. Just kind of off to the side. And then the flower, I'm only going to put glue on the bottom half of the flower and glue it to the basket. It was kind of small to add the placement lines. Okay, then we're going to put a drop of glue in the middle and add our center. And there is the basket, or the basket on the bicycle, and it's all ready to go. So to assemble this card, I'm going to flip it over. And then I'm going to find, we're going to work from 1 back to 3. So I'm going to find piece 1, which on this one is the grass. And I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to put tape on those 2 side tabs. Okay, then I'm going to bring this back down. I'm going to take, so when you're looking at it face down, the number 1 is on the right side. When we flip it over, the number 1 is now on the left side. I'm going to take the right tab, the unnumbered tab, and we are going to fold it or lay it right along the score line, right there. Just match it up right along the score line. Fold it over. Fold this tab over and press it. Okay, then we're going to take the tab that has the number on it and we're going to fold it under. And when you lay it down, it should line up right against the score line and press it. And now we can move this back and forth and make sure that it's going to lay flat. Now, depending on the weight of your paper, you may end up getting a little bit of a bubble, and that's okay. It's just the weight of your paper. It's not the file. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take tab 2, same thing, numbers on the right, but we're going to flip it over and we're going to put tape on those 2 sides, 2 tabs on the back. When it's flipped over, the number 2 is on the left side, so we're going to take the right side and we are going to put the edge of this tab right behind the edge of the first tab. Just line it up like that, fold it over and press it. Then open this up and same thing. We're going to put the edge of the numbered tab right behind the tab that's already on there. And move it back and forth. Make sure that it's sticking. Mine did not. And open it. There we go. Okay, then we have our last one, which is tab number 3. Flip it over and put tape on the back of those tabs. And same thing again. We're going to fold this over and put the edge of the tab right behind number 2. Press it. And then place this right behind the next tab. Press it down. Make sure that they're folding. They are. So now we can put the back on. So I'm just going to fold it over and we're going to put tape on the back side of both of those tabs. The tape runner that I'm using is 1/4 inch, and most of my tabs are 1 inch or just under 1 inch. So the tape runner works perfect. Okay, we're going to take our last octagon, the back one, and line it up on the tab over here. And then line it up on this tab over here. And there is our bicycle hexagon card. Ready for the envelope, ready for great fun. So you can flip it over and put a message back here if you wanted to. You could stamp something. I think it's even big enough if you wanted to tape a little gift card. But isn't that so fun? Okay, let's move on to our Ladybug. This one doesn't have as many small pieces, but it does still have quite a few pieces. So we have our front piece that has the layered ladybug and the 2 flowers and leaves, and I'll show you all those pieces when we get to it. We have our first piece, which has 1 flower and 1 leaf, or 1 flower with a set of leaves. Our second piece has 2 flowers up in the corner with a set of leaves. And our back piece, our third piece, is a little bit different. So here's our back piece right here. It's the solid hexagon and it matches all the card pieces. The back piece on this one actually has 3. So it has your top piece, which has the flowers cut out, your middle piece, which is the one we're going to attach to the cards, and then another yellow piece. So this piece is the inside of your flowers. Whatever the inside of your flowers is going to be, you want to cut this piece out of. This one that has the dots is whatever color you want your flowers to be. So my flowers are white, so I cut this piece out of white. And then this is just your background, and it can be any color that you choose. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to glue it. And this is really hard to see because it's white over white, so let me pick it up. You're going to glue it so that those center holes that are cut out are the centers of the flowers. And it is not symmetrical, so you may have to mix it around, twist it around a little bit to get it to match up. And I did that because I didn't want it all matchy-matchy pattern on the front. It would have been easier, but I really wanted just kind of randomness. So before you glue that down, make sure that your dots are working with the flowers. So it looks like that. Okay, now we're going to flip it over and I'm going to glue this to the back here, but I don't want the glue coming through my circles, so I'm just going to do the glue on this piece. Whoopsie. And then match that up, line it up. Flip it over, and now I'm going to fold those tabs up. There is our third piece. Okay, second piece, pretty simple. It's just the flowers and the leaves. I'm just going to match everything up, line it up on the cutout pieces. And if you're not sure exactly where it goes, you can look at the picture for placement. But with these cutout pieces, it makes it pretty easy to line everything up. Flower, whoops. I'm gonna take that lid piece off, it keeps getting in the way. And then the centers of the flowers just go right there. And then go ahead and fold your tabs up. And set it aside. Okay, or piece number 1. And actually, I probably should have folded these up first. It just helps when you're placing those leaves so that you don't get them across the score line. So when you do that, yeah, fold those up first. Okay, so now we have this leaf. I do glue my leaves on first so that they are under the flowers. And we have the flower. And the flower center. Okay, there's our first level, our first piece. And then we have the front. So again, we're going to, I'm going to glue this on first, then I'll fold those tabs down. So we have a flower with a set of leaves up here on the top. We have another flower with a set of leaves on the bottom. And then we have our 2-layered ladybug. One thing to note on the flowers, all of them are the same size except for this larger one. And you'll see that as you're laying them out. But it doesn't matter if you get them mixed up because they are all the same size. So let's do the top piece first. I'm going to glue my leaf on. And this one, it doesn't really matter if it hangs off the edge or not. You just don't want it to cross your score lines. But if it hangs off the edge, because this is the front, that's okay. The daisy. And the center. Okay, now you can decide if you want the flower on top of the ladybug or the ladybug on top of the flower. Either one works. I'm going to do my ladybug first. Just a little bit of glue on his antennas, her antennas. And then the wings. And now I'm going to do my leaves. You do want to make sure that that leaf does not cross over the bottom because that's where it's going to stand. And if it's hanging off the bottom, it won't stand straight. And our center. Okay, let's go ahead and assemble this one. It has the 4 score lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to fold those down away from us or as a mountain fold. Flip it over. And let's get piece 1, which is right here. It's the one that has the larger flower. So we're going to flip it over and put tape on the 2 tabs. We're going to take the edge of this and we're going to line it right along the score line of that first tab. Bend it over so that everything lays nice and flat. And we're going to take this one and fold it over and lay it right behind the score line of that tab. Bend them back and forth, make sure it's going to lay straight. And let's go with tab number 2, or piece number 2. So it has the 2 small flowers on the top, tape on both sides, each tab. Once you start making these, they are going to go together really quickly, and you'll just boom, 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 be able to do a whole bunch of them at once. Okay, we're going to lay that down, edge of this tab, right behind tab number 1. And then the next tab gets folded over and laid right behind tab number 1. Fold it back and forth. And we're going to do the last one, which is the one that has 3 layers, so it's a little bit heavier. You're going to want to make sure you get that tacked down really well, because it is just a little bit heavier. so number 3 with the line or the number is going to go on the left. We're going to start with the right side. Press it really firm. Lay it over, turn that down, line it up. Sorry, I can't see around the, there we go. Line it up right around the, behind the other tab. Press it back and forth. Now we're going to put tape on those 2 back tabs. And then place our last octagon. Match up this edge first. Fold this over and match up that edge. Oops, fold it over. There we go. And there is our Ladybug shadow box card. Isn't that cute? So much fun. I hope you're loving these. Okay, last one is the beehive, or the bee that I already showed you. It's this one. And let me show you the pieces that go along with it. So we have our front piece, and it has 2 bees, and they are a little bit different. We have piece number 1, piece number 1 that has just 1 flower. Piece number 2 that has 1 flower. And then piece number 3, again, is a little bit different. This time it has 2 layers. So you're going to cut this out of your card piece, and then this goes over the top of it. A shortcut is if you wanted to, you could you could cut just this piece out of your black or whatever color you're going to use, and then not cut this piece out. That would work too. There's also a number on here so that it makes it easier for lining up. So let's do that one first. Oh, and here's your back piece. Okay, so let's do this number 3. So like I said, we've got a number 3 on the right side, and then number 3 on the right side. So we're going to take this and we're going to fold these tabs up. So if you're following along, tabs 1, 2, and 3 get folded up, and then the front pieces get folded down. Okay, so now we're going to take this and we're going to just add some glue. Make sure you get it on the edges. You don't really need to worry too much about the inside pieces because the edges are pretty thick. I'm just going to do a couple of dots. And then we're going to match it up, line it up. Just like that. And that is our piece number 3. Okay, piece number 2 has the flower, so we're going to fold the tabs up. Again, start with your leaf. Let's get that all the way down. And then we have our flower, our daisy. And the flower center. I think the beehive one is probably the quickest. Okay, piece number 1, again, is a flower. It's just a smaller flower. We're going to fold our tabs up. Place the leaves on first. Then the flower. We got a lot of glue on that one. And the center. Then let's start with our front piece. So the first bee on the top has 3 pieces. It has the bee body, or the whole bee, sorry, the bee body, and then this piece is the wings. And I do this out of gray. So it looks like wings. You could also do it out of white, but I didn't want it to look the same color as my flowers. So I did it out of a light gray. We're going to take our body next. And then the full bee, the head, we don't want to put any glue behind the head and the antenna. So I'm going to fold it or flip it over, excuse me, and put it on the neck and on the stripes and on the tail. Okay, then we have the bee on the bottom, and it has 2 sets of wings. So it has a single wing, the bee body, or the stripes, the body, and then the other set with the wings. So we're going to start with this piece first. The only part that's going to show is the wing. And we're going to put in our stripes. And then again, there's nothing behind the head, so we're not going to put glue on the head or the antennas. We're just going to do it on the neck and on the stripes and on the tail. That fell off. Oh, I moved it and it bumped it. Let's get that on there straight. Dang it, dang it, dang it. I may have to cut a new piece. There we go. I like projects that are forgivable when you make a mistake. Okay, and then our last wing, we're just going to put a little bit of glue on the tip there. And put it out there so it's in the front. And that piece is done. So now we can go ahead and assemble this one. So we're going to take these tabs and we're going to fold them down. There's 4 of them. I'm going to fold the tab down, the side down. Same thing over here. The tab down and the side down. Okay, we want to make sure that we get this going the right direction. Otherwise, your bee is going to be flying upside down, which I guess in real life he can, but we're going to make sure that he's doing, I mean, this one's upside down, but anyway, you know what I mean. Okay, so we're going to flip it over and we are going to get piece 1, which is this one right here. It has the single flower in the top right-hand corner. We're going to flip it over and put tape on the 2 tabs. Going to take this right side of our tab at the top of the tab and put it right behind the score line, right on the score line. Fold it over and press, then fold that whole thing over and press. And then this one, if we just fold it over and lay it down, it should be right behind the score line on that left-hand side. Fold them back and forth. And let's go with piece 2. So there's piece 2. It has the flower on the bottom left-hand corner. We're going to flip it over and put tape on the 2 tabs. Same thing, we're going to push this right before or right behind that tab on that right. Press it. Press the whole thing over. Turn the tab under and line it up right behind tab 1. Make sure you get it lined up. Press it down and then flip it back and forth to make sure that it's laying there. Okay, then we have our third one, which is the honeycomb. We're going to flip it over, put tape on the two sides. Bring it up. Place that tab right behind the second tab. Fold it over. Then fold it over again. I got it here. Fold this tab under and line it up right behind that second tab. Press it back and forth to make sure that everything is laying. And then we're going to put tape on the two tabs. Take our bottom hexagon, not hexagon, octagon. Match it up on the side. Match it up on this side. Everything's folding nice and neat. And there is our little beehive octagon square box card. So there we have all three of them completed. So much fun. And then of course, don't forget the envelope that goes with it. This is actually the pop-up card envelope, but it will work with these cards, and I will link it all together. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I really hope you'll give one of these cards a try, if not all three. Watch for the new ones that should be coming out in a couple of days. Thanks for joining me. Hit subscribe down below so you don't miss any of my videos. Please give me a thumbs up and have a great day.